Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. As you can see, we're back in the saddle. That's right. SADL Season 2 is coming. This is the official announcement video, as well as serves as an introduction for the application process. Basically, just everything you need to know for the upcoming season of the SADL. We're super excited to bring it back to you guys. It's been a little bit. Obviously, I kind of wanted to get the league started a little bit sooner. I didn't expect it to take this long. I took, about a week and a half break where I just didn't handle anything with YouTube, or the league. Just kind of let that all on the back burner, let it sit. Kind of enjoyed, my time not doing that because it consumed my life, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but it was my life for a hot minute. So being able to kind of just relax for that time period I had, and then just coming back into the league. We did have some delays, some things that unfortunately I was very busy with personal life. Um, I'm not gonna bore you with that kind of stuff, but nothing terrible, but just stuff that was getting in the way that was making it harder to actually, work on the league. Things got pushed back. So, and I also wasn't making any YouTube videos in the meantime. I had some plans, some ideas for YouTube videos that wound up not being able to do them. So this is also my first YouTube video in a while. So it's a lot, but I'm super excited. Super excited to bring y'all the new season of the SADL. We have big plans. It's gonna be bigger. It's gonna be better for sure. I'm super excited. I know a lot of the guys in the league are super excited. So uh, enough with the yapping. Let's get into the breakdown, right? So as you can see right here, this is our SADL Season 2 rules and overview. I'm not going to read everything. It's 8 pages. I'm just going to kind of briefly skim through, make sure I hit the points that I want to talk about, including some of the newer things, basically, and just kind of, like I said, introduce the league, talk about it, and everything like that. So I have a brief little mission statement at the beginning. Feel free to read that if you want, if you are looking at the application yourself. I would like to announce that we officially have a formal staff. Last season it was just me and two co-commissioners, two of my good friends, who were kind of helping me make decisions and manage stuff with the league. Really, they did a lot of the groundwork early on, helping me organize some stuff. Um, and then, kind of as the league was going on, I was doing a lot of that stuff by myself, um, just kind of managing in and out because it was something that I was really committed to. I'm not saying that to be negative towards my friends. They were a huge help, like I said at the very beginning of the season. Um, I probably wouldn't have been able to start the league without them, to be completely honest. So with that being said, though, obviously yours truly, Commissioner Storm at the very top. Then we have my friend Fiery Vortex. He's returning to the league this season, and he'll be. We have a little dressed up position for him. He will be the president of the SADL. Basically, just means that he's sort of a more experienced person, somebody I trust personally, who I can talk to directly about more things. And then we also created a council, basically of members from last season, guys who were interested. I asked, I think towards the end of the season, who was wanted to be interested in joining a council. Basically, this is to help me make decisions. There's a lot of decisions to be made this season based on stuff that we experienced in season one. So I knew I wanted guys who had experience in my league, had experience in draft, who can help me make those decisions. So we formed a council, basically people who can kind of help me make those decisions. And then shout out to Jake. You see at the bottom, he is our dock engineer. When I get into showing off the are very nice and sported up, I guess you could say, master docs for the new season. He designed, not designed all of them. He used a template, but he made them all. He's the one who worked them all, added in all the links, set it up the way that we did it. And without him, he spent a lot of hours in Discord calls with us, and he did that all. So shout out to him. He's a huge help. Very much appreciate him. Just went above and beyond, honestly, really and truthfully. So shout out to him. If you come in the server, give him his props, man. He deserves it for sure. So basically, just a brief overview of what SADL Season 2 is going to be. As I said, we aim to be bigger and better than Season 1. Season 1 was great. Everybody had a good time, but we want to do it better. One of the ways that we're doing this, we're expanding the league. We're going to have two divisions this season. The Legacy Division, Newcomer Division. The Legacy Division will be played using Gen 9 national decks, and it will consist of all of our returning coaches. So everybody who played in Season 1, they're going to have basically a guaranteed priority spot for the legacy division. We've already have that list. I've already spoken to them. They're already locked in for that. We do have positions remaining, and those will be open to anybody who wants to join. And we're kind of looking for more experienced people. Like I said, everybody who's in that league has at least played one season of draft league, because they played in the prior season of the SADL. Either way, our newcomer division will be played using the current Gen 9 Paldea decks. This is going to be basically what Season 1 was. New people, newer to draft, maybe they played a season or two before, or maybe they haven't played in a few years, or just never played draft before. This is going to be for them. So it's going to be kind of aimed, like, not necessarily like tiers of skill, but just basically people who are newer to draft. And it's going to be, like I said, like Season 1 was. Each division will consist of 12 to 16 coaches, depending on interest. Basically, the minimum is 12, the maximum is 16. Right now, I believe that there are maximum of six available spots for the Legacy division. We have 10, yes, 10 returning people, um, for the Legacy division. Minimum of two. Like I said, it's going to be based on interest. We want to try to get, yeah, I'd love to hit that 32 number of people in the league, 16 per division, but we'll see how that turns out. So 12 to 16. I think we had 14 last season, so that's kind of what we're looking at. We'll play a 10-week season like we did last season. Top 8 seeds will be in a 3-round single elimination playoffs, with the final round being the SADL Season 2 championship. Very similar to last season. We expanded playoffs to 8 seeds. That's going to be huge. I think people will really appreciate that. Next up, we're going to talk about the drafting process. We're keeping a very similar drafting process to what we had last season. We are changing some things up, streamlining it, making it more efficient. So as you can see, we do, once again, the SADL, we're using a tier-based drafting similar to that of the P4G. If you don't know what the P4G is, it is a creator league. Joey Pokeyame, um, and a few other people. I'm trying to think of some of the other. I know some of the creators, and I can't think of them off the top of my head. Uzi Gunner, he was in it. I think they played in the finals together. So we're doing something that this is not a low tier league. That was what theirs was. They did a low tier draft league. This is a regular, standard tier draft league, but we use a similar drafting system. It's tier based, and it's an 11 round snake draft. It's a completely randomized order. It's not based off of the prior season's performance, just completely random. You must draft from the tiers in any order, but you're limited to the amount of Pokemon you draft from the tiers. This is how the P4G was set up. I think they had 10 spots, and you could draft those 10 Pokemon in any order, but you were limited by what the Pokemon you could draft from each tier. So basically, scroll down a little bit. Right here, we have those limitations. So everybody's able to draft one tier one Pokemon, one tier two Pokemon, two tier three Pokemon, two tier four Pokemon, two tier five Pokemon, two tier six Pokemon, and one tier seven Pokemon. Um, I'm using a long draft format. This is what we used last season. It's what worked out for us. We do have some time zone differences. Phil, one of our returning coaches, he's in the UK, so that's obviously like a 5 or 6 hour time difference from the East Coast. Then if you went to the West Coast, then that's like an even greater time difference. So basically, we're going to be using a long draft format. Coaches will have around 8 hours to select a Pokemon. There will be exceptions. We're kind of loose with this rule. Obviously, if somebody takes 24 hours, they're going to get skipped. But obviously, we know that sometimes 8 hours can be a little difficult. Somebody might go to bed early, and then they might sleep, say, 9 or 10 hours. Then basically the entire time that they had to pick, they would have been asleep. So we do want to give some people some leadway, give them a couple hours in the morning to kind of wrap that up. Um, Basically, also another thing too, to ensure that no one gets unnecessarily skipped, to make sure that event doesn't happen. Before we move on to the next procession of the draft, please check with me, Commissioner Storm, before moving on in the draft. Any missed picks will be made up at the end of the round or end of the draft if necessary. I'm going to try to do end of the round, just say, hey, you get the last pick in the round. I kind of feel like, and then we just return to the snake order. If push comes to shove and it's just kind of like becomes a big jumbled mess, we'll just have to say him to the end of the draft, which is very unfortunate because it kind of means, it doesn't really, I guess it actually really doesn't matter. Either way, you're getting the last pick of that round. I guess maybe if there's a tier one, really good tier one you wanted, we kind of want you to be able to get that tier one. So like we said, we're going to shoot for the end of the round, obviously, but like I said, push comes to shove, we might have to do end of the draft. It just kind of depends. In addition, coaches may also leave their picks with the staff member. Me, Vortex, any of the council, they're all trusted. I trust them super, trust them. They're all guys I would, wouldn't think would cheat you out of a pick or anything like that. Just say, hey, when my pick comes up, get me this Pokemon if it's still available. Try to leave multiple with them, because it is very possible that your pick can get sniped. I was sniped 7 times last season, so I know what it's like. After the draft, there's a 24-hour free trade period that will concludes which coaches may exchange Pokemon they drafted for Pokemon of equal value. So you can exchange your tier threes for tier threes. You can exchange your tier fives for tier fives. You can exchange your tier one for another tier one, etc., etc. Um, Also, because the Legacy Division is national decks, you may only draft one Mega Evolution Pokemon, and you are not allowed to draft both the base and Mega form of a Pokemon. And anytime and this is also, I don't think this is listed further in the rules, but I know this is very standard. When you bring your Mega Pokemon, it has to hold the Mega Stone. You don't have to Mega it in battle, but it has to hold that Mega Stone. So one Mega Evolution per coach. Um, Basically, and you cannot have both Mega Scissor and regular Scissor. And when you bring a Scissor, it has to be holding Scissorite. Very simple. Those are the rules for the Megas in the Legacy Division, which is, like I said, going to be playing National Decks. Terra Captains. So the SADL we use a low tier Terra system. Basically, only Pokemon of a lower tier are able to Terra. Pokemon tier 5 or below are allowed to Terra. Each team may have up to 3 Terra Captains, one for each eligible Terra tier, so 5, 6, and 7. This season, we'll be using a free Terra system. Last year, we used I think it was like, I don't know what choice Terra system. You chose 3 Terra types. That's the only 3 Terra types that Pokemon can Terra into. This we're doing free Terra. We're mixing it up a little bit to, of course, combat that or kind of balance that out. We will be using the Terra preview game modes on Showdown. Basically, I think we just used regular standard Gen 9 draft last season. This time we're using Gen 9 National Dex Draft or Gen 9 Paldea Dex Draft. Terra preview, basically it allows you to see what Terra type your opponent has during the match. Obviously, it can be completely random, but it lets you predict it more throughout the course of the match. Obviously, you can't prep beforehand to accommodate what it is because it could be something kind of goofy, something kind of silly, niche. So, but you will know what their Terra type is when you enter the match. You are not required to bring a Terra Captain every week. I know a lot of leagues do this. Terra Captains are mandatory. That's why they're Terra Captains. We don't do that. Obviously, they're really good, and there's a high chance you will bring a Terra Captain every week, but you are not required to bring a Terra Captain every week. So this is just a season breakdown. Like I said, we're not changing a lot to the season. There are a few tweaks to the rules. The season will once again be 10 weeks long. Matches will be played on a Monday to Sunday basis. This is probably the biggest change. We had some issues last week when we had a coach try to sub in uh, to take over. His schedule was just really restricted. We were doing not a Sunday only, but we were trying to play all the matches on Sunday. Sunday was going to be game day. If you needed to play early or you needed to play after Sunday, it was perfectly fine. Just let me know. We could do that. But we were really restrictive with it, and you were kind of, if you needed to do that, you were at the mercy of the other person. So like if you really for some reason needed to play on Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday in the middle of the week, you were kind of at the other person's being like, yeah, I can do that. But we're doing Monday to Sunday. Basically, um, from the Monday of that week to the end of the week on Sunday, play your match anytime. If you need an extension, let me know and we can work that out. If you can't meet the Sunday deadline, like if you're just ghosted and you don't meet that Sunday deadline, or if you set an extension deadline and you don't meet it, especially like I said, setting that extension deadline because now you're already kind of pushing it back. The offending party, the person who's having the scheduling issue, will be given a forfeit with a -3 differential. Um, that's kind of standard. We didn't do that last year. We just did a loss with no differential. Now we're doing -3, so that way it has a bigger effect. Um, Throughout the season, each coach is allowed 7 transactions. Transactions include any drops and the subsequent adds. So obviously, if you drop a Pokemon, you have to add a Pokemon. You have to have a roster of 11. So if you drop and then add, that counts as a transaction. Any trades, we are allowing trades between coaches this season. Obviously, they have to be one for one trades, and then any Terra captain changes. So you want to change one of your tier fives, you want to change that Terra captain to another tier five or one of your tier sixes. That will count as a transaction as well. So weekly transactions must be submitted before 11:59 Monday of that week. Um, any submissions made after that will be processed for the following week. So basically, the week before and up until the end of the day on Monday of that week is when your transactions are due. So week 3, if you make any transactions, they will go towards week 4. And Monday of week 4, if you make any transaction, it'll be valid for the rest of week 4. After Monday, no more transactions will be any transaction you submit will be considered for the next week. This is what we're doing to kind of keep everything in line. We can't have somebody, Friday night, Saturday night, the weeks at the end, say, okay, I'm switching I'm making a transaction, and then your opponent has less than 24 hours to adjust. Or something like that, or only a couple of days to adjust. We're trying to limit that as much as possible. Get your transactions done as early so your opponent knows. We'll try to be on top of that. Um, so uh, trade deadline for season 2 will be the beginning of week 6. So basically, Monday of week 6, that's the last day. So basically, after week 5, you'll have the Monday of week 6 and all of week 5 to make your final transactions. All trades must be done at one value. I kind of mentioned that earlier. Same tier. Once again, top 8 seeds will qualify for playoffs. That's how we did it last season. Um, Seeding is primarily determined by overall record. So, whoever has the best record, that's the highest in the seeding or, the standings throughout the season. And we use the following tiebreakers, same as last season. Differential is the number one tiebreaker. So two teams are 8-2. One has like a +5 differential. The other one has like a +3. The +5 one is higher. Head to head. So if two teams have the same differential, then if they played a head to head match, then that will determine it. And if both teams if the teams didn't play a head to head match, then it'll be determined by strength of schedule, your overall record, um, throughout the season of your opponents that you played. Most of the information will be posted on the SADL Season 2 Master Doc. So we'll have the Master Doc that will keep track of all the standings, and it'll keep track of everybody's win-loss, their differential, and their strength of schedule. Head-to-heads, we can't really keep track of in that way, but obviously we'll know who won head-to-head in any match. So playoffs will last 3 rounds. Follow a simple tournament bracket. Basically, 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5, and then we'll just do that simple bracket style, similar to like the NBA playoffs. If you watch basketball, even March Madness, same way. And then there'll be a crowning. We'll end with the crowning of our SADL Season 2 champion. Shout out Board Addict. He won Season 1 against me, unfortunately, but he played great, so he deserved it. Yesterday will also be returning. We'll also be running a weekly pick'ems competition on the side. We did this last season. It was kind of a last second edition. This season we're going to try to get it. I don't want to say dress it up, but we're going to kind of make it a little more. Just kind of make it simpler, not necessarily simpler, but just more uniform, I guess is the best way to describe it. So basically, participants will fill out and submit a weekly pick'ems form. Basically, it's just going to have every single match in the league listed in a head-to-head format, so blank versus blank. You will vote for who you think will win each weekly match. You cannot vote for yourself unless it's the playoffs, and the playoffs we do allow coaches to vote for themselves because there's only a limited number of games. Pick'em records will be tallied each week, so if say we had 8 matches, you can obviously only vote on 7, and you correctly guessed on 4, didn't on 3, so then your pick'ems record would be 4-3. We'll tally them up at the end of the season. We'll tally them up throughout the season to keep track of them. At the end, you'll be crowned the Season 2 Pick'ems King. Shout out Manny. He was our Season 1 Pick'ems King. Pick'ems are due the week before their respective matches. So this is basically to keep ahead. Before, when we did Sunday matches, it's very easy because you had all week to submit your pick'ems. They were due on Saturday at midnight before the match. This time we're going to be rolling them back a week. So, during week 3, you're voting on your week 4 pick'ems. So if you want to participate, it's not mandatory. Obviously, if you want to participate, do it. You can't miss a week. If you do miss a week, you're just going to be I guess, disqualified from pick'ems just because it messes with the way the records go. And also, you need to vote on every match. Um, Probably what'll happen if you don't vote in a match, it'll just count as a loss. Um, More than likely. So this is our battle rules and clauses. This is also very, very important. Applies to So there are some differences between most of the rules have applied to both leagues. Obviously, we had the exception when we talked about mega evolutions and the way that works with draft. The battle rules and clauses, these are going to be the major differences because there are different rules for them, moves and abilities that don't exist. So basically, the SADL follows most standard showdown rules and clauses. The SADL ban list for each division is visible in the draft tiers tab of the master doc. So basically, the Pokemon that aren't allowed for each division, if you just look at the master doc for the respective division that you're in, it'll just say it. I mean, you can just not just say it. You look over in the banned list; those Pokemon aren't allowed. So all clauses and bans that apply to SADL will be listed below. Like I said, we use most standard Smogon clauses. There are some tweaks. So species clause: coaches may draft this with the same may draft Pokemon with the same Pokédex number. So for example, Ninetales and Alola Ninetales, they're both whatever Ninetales Pokédex number is. But you cannot bring them on the same team. So if you do draft Ninetales and Alola Ninetales, you can't bring them the same week. You can have them on the same team though. Endless battle clause: coaches cannot force endless battle. Um, Pretty simple. It's a standard Smogon clause. It's very hard to do. You need a Slowbro with heal, so Lychee Berry, Heal Pulse. I forgot what else. I think Trick or something like that. It's really hard to do, but you can do it. You can basically make it to where your opponent never dies. No. You make it to where you never run out of PP using refresh, and you're constantly healing your opponent from struggle damage. Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but obviously we're not allowing it just in case somebody try to do it for some reason. Sleep clause: coaches may only reduce the sleep status to one Pokemon at a time. We are allowing sleep. I know it's pretty standard for draft. Most draft leagues allow sleep. I know OU did a sleep ban. You can't use sleeping moves. So no hypnosis, spore, sleep powder, stuff like that. But we're allowing that, and of course, once again, I think it's written just into the game. You can't do it. We're not playing on cartridge. We're playing on showdown. Um, Either way, though, evasion clause: any evasion boosting moves, abilities, items are not allowed. So no double team, no sand veil, no laxance. I think laxance increases your evasiveness or something like that. Anything that does that, you can't use it. Bright powder is also included in that as well. Oko moves are not allowed. That's pretty standard. No guillotine, horn drill, uh, sheer cold, fissure. You get the idea. Baton pass clause. This is pretty standard for a lot of draft leagues. Baton pass is allowed as a momentum move. However, though, it can only be allowed as a dry pass. So basically, that means that you cannot pass a positive stat boost when you use baton pass. If you just have it on your Pokemon to use it as a way to get momentum, that's fine. But you can't Calm Mind and then baton pass. You can't Swords Dance and baton pass. You can't Dragon Dance and baton pass. If you do this, obviously, sometimes it can accidentally happen. You could set up and then be like, oh, I want to get out of here. Let me baton pass. You can do that and then accidentally pass the stats. If that does happen, we will replay that match, basically go through turn for turn, replay it to where that happened. And unfortunately, if the person does it again, I'm going to think that it's something they're trying to do for whatever reason. It'll probably result in a forfeit. I don't want that to happen. Misclicks happen, mistakes happen. It's all good. That goes for like disconnects too. Um, we I didn't put it in the rules. I guess I probably should have. We have a zero policy tolerance for any form of cheating. So ghosting, leaking. If you're helping another coach prep and you leak their information, that's bad. Ghosting, playing for another player. If any of that's found out, trying to like if you're like trying to even like DDoS or boot or like lag out the server, any crazy shenanigans like that, also will result in a forfeit and potentially a ban from the league or disqualification, those sorts of things. But if it's like just a natural problem, then we'll try to replay it. Server disconnects happen. Showdown lets you join match, like if you disconnect, you can always join back. But if something crazy happens, like I've seen matches disappear, like rooms disappear. It's happened before on Showdown. So, we'll try to replay those matches to the best of our ability. And these are just simple ability item bans. So Arena Trap, Shadow Tag, Booty, and Power Construct, they're all banned. Obviously, we don't want that running around. They're annoying abilities. Um, I understand that Arena Trap and Shadow Tag aren't as bad in like draft, but because your opponent's gonna have those abilities. I don't like them. Never been a fan of them. Don't want them in my game. Power Construct is banned because we're not having Xylar complete form running around. Moody's banned because boosting your evasiveness is not allowed. So that's kind of covered in the evasion clause. Following items are banned: Bright Powder, kind of covered in the evasive clause. King's Rock, Quick Claw, and Razor Fang. King's Rock and Razor Fang kind of been very standard banning those because of flinch gimmicks, especially with like Mouse Hold running around with Population Bomb. And then Quick Claw, just it's kind of unfortunate because it kind of really hurts Galarian Slowbro a lot. But once again, it's kind of a luck based. It's very heavily luck based item, and kind of losing that always sucks. It's already bad enough Quick Draw exists. So and all Z crystals are banned as well. The council voted on banning Z crystals, so there's no Z moves for national decks. Also, all gyms that aren't the normal gym are banned as well. So if you want to use a normal gym, fake out, sure, go for it, but no flying gym, fighting gym, fire gym, whatever. They aren't in the game. They're not going to be allowed in national decks or regular Gen 9. Following moves are banned. Last Respect, Shed Tail, those are pretty standard. The one that might be a little surprising is Hidden Power. We also voted on no Hidden Power um, for national decks. The Legacy League will not have Hidden Power. It'll just be good old fashioned whatever regular typing moves the opponent knows. Obviously, Terra is still in the game. That's kind of the reason we decided not to go with Hidden Power, was just because we already have Terra Blast, which kind of works similar. Obviously, that's only available to Pokemon that can Terra, but we decided just to take out the Hidden Power, just kind of make things a little easier. So, that being said, the final thing we'll be looking at is the application. I'll go over the application real quick. It'll be attached to the master docs when they're linked. Um, be in the description of this video, as well as more than likely, if you're seeing this video, you're seeing it linked in another Discord server. I'll have the docs there as well, but they'll also be in the description, so check those out. See what's available, what isn't available. It also have the link to my Discord server and the link to the application. Check those out. I'm not going to post the application link with them because it's just a lot of stuff. I I won't have the application. Probably won't have it as well in the description. It'll just be the docs because the application is there. But just real quick, look at the application. Applications for SADL Season 2 should be attached to the message containing the rules, like I already said. If not, please message a staff member on Discord. We can give you an application. Message me is preferable, but anybody else, they might have it, or they can just get to me a little easier. Please fill out the application, join our server. If you just join the server and don't say anything or don't fill out an application, I can't do anything about that. The applications, that's what we're doing it all through. It's first come, first serve, essentially. Um, the draft order that includes all participating coaches will be posted there. So that basically will. I'm not sure if we'll do like a coach announcement. I'll have to figure how that goes. But we're gonna find a way to announce who made the cut. Like I said, it's gonna be first come first serve mostly. Also, some of the other criteria for applying will kind of determine that as well. There's a maximum of 32 spots, 16 per division available. So in the event of high interest, not every application will be given a spot. Kind of just said that. If there are any questions concerning the rules, application process, or the league in general, feel free to contact me. Storm on Discord. That's what it is. I can't remember my Discord tag, but Storm on Discord. I'll be posting it. Um, like I said, I'll be posting it in different channels, so you'll probably see my Discord there. And once again, thank you for considering the SADL. Look forward to be playing with and against you. So that covers the overview and the rules really quick. Hits mostly everything. I know there's a few things I think I left out. Like I said, kind of the zero tolerance policy for cheating, but I kind of feel like that's mostly given. So wrap up the video. We're just going to briefly look at both of the master docs and the application, just so that you guys can see those. Obviously, they'll be linked with whatever this is. So this is the SADL Season 2 Legacy Division. Very simple. Shout out to Jake for putting all this together. This is, like I said, this was copied from the Smog Tour, Smogon's, their very own draft league. So kind of has some stuff up here. You can check this stuff out if you want to know more information about draft in general. If you're newer, down here we have our SADL links. This is the Discord server. This is the application. It's all right here. Brief overlook of the rules. This is a very summarized, condensed rules. Just kind of goes over the basic draft rules as well as the battle rules. That includes some stuff that I think it even includes some stuff that I forgot. Obviously, the full rule sheet will be posted in the Discord server, and I just went over it. So if you want to look at the full rules, they'll always be available for you to check out. Yeah, like I said, very simple battle rules and drafting rules, and then brief look at the draft board. You can see what's banned. You can see some of the really good stuff we have available. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. We did some stuff. We unbanned some stuff. We have Mega Pokemon in. We have Spectrier, which I was very against having, but everybody talked me into it, so Spectrier is available. That's fun. I don't like that one bit, but everybody voted for it. So this is like so. This is the Legacy Division. This is the SADL Newcomer Division. Very similar thing. Once again, all these links are the same rules. These are a little more tailored to the Newcomer Division because it's going to be Paldea decks. Um, so there's that. And then the draft board. The draft board is a little different. You've probably seen like some of the Pokemon shifted over. I think like Baxcalibur is tier 2 in National decks. Now it's tier 1 in Paldea decks. So the tiers are a little different. Obviously, there are some Pokemon that aren't in, and then there are some Pokemon that we just adjusted because we were like, oh, they're better, they're stronger or weaker in National decks slash Gen 9. Um, Not a lot of them, but just a handful of them that we did move around. So that's all there for you guys to look at. And then we have our season 2 application form. Real quick, just going to go over this just to clarify some things. All the questions need to be answered. I think I have them, set to required, so you can't submit an incomplete application. But basically, just put your Discord name. Try to put your tag as well, so if I have to look for you, I can know exactly where you are. Maybe if you fill out an application and don't join the server, please join the server if you fill out an application. But if you don't, make it easier for me to get in contact with you. Your showdown username you'll be playing with. Try to stay on this account. I know people have alts all the time. If you're playing on an alt or something like that, hey, just let me know. Hey, by the way, I am playing on this alt. But try to stick to the Discord username that you do submit, so that way it's easy to track. Um, Enter your team name. Please keep it Pokemon related. Semi semi I don't want to say PC, but just safe for work. Don't make it something that's kind of super lewd, or maybe offensive potentially. Use your brain. Most everybody has like really chill, simple nicknames. My team's the Baltimore Bullet Punches. We're running it back, baby. Um, Quick multiple choice of which division you're interested in participating. Legacy division, that's Gen 9 National decks. Newcomer division is Gen 9 Paldea decks. Then at the next question, put any previous draft league experience. Don't need like a full loadout. Just kind of throw out, a couple years. I've done it before. I did it once in Gen 7 or Gen 8. Now I'm back. Never done it before. Whatever. Just let us know. That's going to help us with the application process. If you're coming in with 5 or 6 years of draft league experience, you're not going to be playing in the newcomer division. Sorry. Um, we might consider you for the legacy division, but that's just kind of the way it goes. And basically, there's the last little thing at the bottom. If there's no availability in your selected division, are you fine with participating in the other division? Basically, this just makes it easier to move stuff around. If you really coming in, you're like, I don't want to play national decks. I just want to be in the newcomer division. I'm new to the game. I'm new to draft, and I don't want to play national decks, and that's it. That's fine. Basically, just when I'm moving stuff around, I will get in contact with you more than likely and say, hey, I know you did this. We're going to move you to this division just for availability's sake. I will try to contact you and let you know, so it's not like a big surprise. But basically, just fill this out, because if it's a hard no, then I won't ask you. Maybe I will if I really, really, really need to, but we're going to try to avoid that. So basically, that's simply the application. Fill that out, get that to me, so that way we can handle that and kind of have everything set up. That just about covers it. That's really and truthfully everything. Like I said, I'm going to have everything you need linked in the description, as well as it will be linked in the message that you probably clicked on to see this video. Um, we're just gonna run applications until we're full, or until we feel like we have enough. Um, Try to shoot for a week, I guess, is like the hopeful goal, the wishful thinking goal. I actually signed up when I opened. I thought we'd be advertising forever. Um, when I did season 1, and we filled up, I think, in a week, and it was kind of crazy. I was so surprised that there were that many people that were interested. We still had people messaging me after. I was like, all right, league is set. Still had a couple people messaging me, hey, is it still open? Sorry, no, we started the league, whatever. Um, so yeah, if you do join the league and it seems like or join the server and it does seem like it's a little out of whack, I'm going to be trying to remodel the server because it is set up for the way we used to do it. We used to have all of our docs separate. It was really messy. I apologize to all my coaches for having it that way. I was brand new to using spreadsheets and running a draft league. Now I'm a little more organized. I have somebody handling that for me. Shout out Jake once again. If you see Jake in the server, I would say shake his hand, but you can't do that. So just say, give him a thank you or a shout out or a hug, a kiss, whatever you need to do. Um, I think he's a married man, or he's taken, so maybe don't kiss him. But if he says you can kiss me, um, platonically, then kiss him. Um, but give him props because he's huge. He's big, came in clutch, really and truthfully. So shout out that man. Appreciate it all he did. And shout out my council members. I don't want to leave them in the dust. They sat through 2-3 hour long Discord calls talking on and on about Pokemon, heated conversations, um, plenty of funny moments. Really enjoyed that, talking with those guys. And obviously they helped me make some tough decisions. I mean, when I said, I was like, hey, I want people, if I say something and it's stupid, tell me it's stupid. And if I'm unsure about something, say, no, man, that's a good idea, right? That's what I wanted those guys for. And they did that. They came in clutch with that as well. So shout out to all of my staff. I love you guys. You guys are great. I really looking forward to continuing the SADL with you guys. I hope season 2 is big. I really want it to be great. Um, and yeah, like I said, if you're watching this video because you're interested, hell yeah, I appreciate it. Join the server, fill out an application. Let's get this running. SADL Season 2 is going to be great. With that being said, I'm going to cut off the video right here. Everybody who's watching this, be safe. Um, I love you guys. Be nice. Be kind to somebody today. It doesn't hurt to be kind. That's kind of my little inspirational message at the very end. Until next time, see you guys. Probably will do a coach announcement. I think that'll be my next video. But until then, everybody, like I said, be safe, be kind.